She would be dead, and her killer would be at the funeral. On a cold February night in 2008, a young fashion designer walked through the quiet streets of Barcelona. She was meeting a friend for dinner, a friend she trusted completely. She had no idea that within hours she would be dead, and that the person who killed her would stand beside her grieving family at her funeral. Hello everyone. Welcome to the Serial Crime Chronicle for newcomers to this channel. If you love true stories, this channel was made for you. We post true crime stories they thought they buried every day. If this interests you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you always get the latest content. Your support means a lot. Don't forget to hit the like button. As I've told you before, the like button is a simple gesture for you, but for me it's something huge because it helps YouTube know that people like my content and shows it to more new people. So please don't forget to support me by hitting that like button. What happened that night would shatter a community, unravel a web of lies, and expose one of the most chilling cases of betrayal Spain had ever seen. This is a story of Angi, fake life, true crime. But before we get to the horrifying night of the murder, you need to know who Angi really was. Because the person Anna thought was her closest friend was hiding a secret double life. Angi looked like she had it all together. She was 36, glamorous in a subtle way, working in Barcelona's competitive real estate industry. She was confident, charismatic, the kind of woman people trusted instantly. But behind the polished image was a life spinning out of control. Angi was drowning in debt. She wanted the luxury lifestyle, the clothes, the restaurants, the image of success, but her salary couldn't support it. So she found another way. She became a master at fraud, forged documents, stolen identities, loans taken out in other people's names. She even wore wigs and glasses to impersonate her victims at banks. And one of those victims was her friend and co-worker, María Páez. Anna was the opposite of Angi. She was 35, a fashion designer, warm and kind. She dreamed of launching her own clothing line. Friends said she was dependable, generous, always putting others first. And she trusted Angi completely. She had no idea that Angi had stolen her personal documents and was quietly dismantling her life. Angi took out bank loans in Anna's name, drained her accounts, and even secured life insurance policies worth over €1 million, naming herself as a beneficiary. Anna started to notice small discrepancies in her finances, but nothing alarming. To keep up with this series and even more interesting true crime stories that never came to light until now, hit the red subscribe button now. Back to the story. But Angi was terrified that Anna was getting close to discovering the truth. And that's when she decided Anna couldn't be allowed to live. What came next would be planned down to the smallest detail. In February 2008, Angi rented an apartment using forged documents. She stocked it with a bottle of chloroform, a plastic bag, duct tape, gloves, and a vial of semen she purchased from sex workers. Every item had a purpose. And on February 19th, she texted Anna, "Dinner at my place tonight." Anna said yes. What happened inside that apartment would horrify everyone who heard about it. But what no one could have predicted was how Angi would cover her tracks and how close she would come to getting away with it. Anna arrived at the apartment that evening, umbrella in hand. She buzzed the intercom. Angi's warm voice invited her upstairs. Sometime during dinner, Angi struck. She pressed a chloroform silk cloth over Anna's face. Anna would have fought, but the chemical works fast. Her lungs burned. Her body grew heavy. Then Angi slipped a plastic bag over her head and sealed it with duct tape. Within minutes, Anna was gone. But Angi wasn't finished. She planted the semen sample on Anna's body to make it look like a sexual assault. She scattered items to stage a struggle. Then she walked out, believing she had just committed the perfect crime. At 8:06 p.m., cameras captured Angi at an ATM, wearing a brown wig and oversized sunglasses, withdrawing €600 from Anna's account. And she wasn't done withdrawing money. She had been draining Anna's finances for weeks. When Anna didn't show up to work the next day, everyone knew something was wrong. By February 21st, the landlord of the apartment, worried about a smell coming from inside, opened the door. Anna's body was there, exactly as Angi had left it. The plastic bag was still sealed over her head. Investigators believed at first that a sexual predator was on the loose. Barcelona was terrified, but detectives quickly noticed something strange. The crime scene was too neat. The semen on Anna's body came from multiple men. And then there was the ATM footage, who was a woman in disguise withdrawing money from Anna's account. When they looked closer, the face looked familiar. Police began digging into people in Anna's life who had access to her personal information. Angi quickly became a person of interest. She was cooperative at first, calm, expressing shock, saying she had nothing to hide. But detectives soon uncovered life insurance policies and loans taken out in Anna's name. They searched Angi's home. What they found blew the case wide open. Hidden behind her bathroom cistern was a cache of Anna's personal documents. Forged IDs, bank statements, wigs and glasses matching the ATM disguise, and a bottle of chloroform with Angi's fingerprints on it. The evidence was overwhelming. Angi was arrested, but this story wasn't over, because what came next would play out in front of the entire country. By 2012, the trial had begun. Angi walked into the Barcelona High Court in a black suit, expressionless as cameras flashed. Prosecutors laid out their case. Angi had infiltrated Anna's life, stolen her identity, and killed her to cover it up. They presented the ATM footage, the forged documents, the chloroform bottle, the fibers linking Angi's clothes to the tape that killed Anna. Witnesses testified about Angi's disguises, her fraud schemes, and her mounting debts. Angi took the stand. She cried. She claimed she was innocent, but her story changed under cross-examination. She couldn't explain why Anna's documents were in her home. After weeks of testimony, the jury deliberated for less than a day. Guilty, Angi was sentenced to 22 years in prison, later reduced to 18. Anna's family wept in the courtroom. Justice had been served. Or had it? Angi was sent to Mars d'Enrique prison. She kept to herself, never showing emotion. But rumors followed her. Inmates described her as manipulative. Questions resurfaced about the suspicious death of her husband in 1996. And in March 2025, Angi was back in the headlines. While on a temporary release, she was arrested again. Authorities alleged she had been plotting another murder. Anna's family was devastated but not surprised. She will never change, her mother said. Parole that had been scheduled for 2027? Cancelled. Angi would likely remain behind bars for a long time. In 2025, Netflix released Angi, Fake Life, True Crime. The documentary reignited outrage. It told the story of Anna's life, her kindness, her dreams, and the betrayal that took it all away. But it also asked hard questions. Had Angi harmed others before Anna? Was she capable of killing again if given the chance? As of today, Angi remains in prison. But if she's ever released, who could she betray next? Like, comment, and subscribe to the Serial Crime Chronicles, where every crime has a witness and every truth will be told for more true crime stories. See you in the next episode, and thanks for watching.